Hi all. Today I want to talk about the childhood roots of secure attachment. And these are people that trust that love is safe, essentially. They trust and they know that love is safe. So, secure attachment is often described as the gold standard of relating. But what actually creates it? Um, well, for some, it begins in early childhood, shaped not by perfection, but by, good enough caregiving. Because there is no such thing as a perfect parent, and if we strive for perfection, we are always going to be disappointed in ourselves. But good enough caring is good enough. It's kind of in the name, really. So, secure attachment develops when caregivers are consistent. The child's needs are met reliably most of the time. Remember, we're not perfect, but most of the time is good enough. Their caregivers may be emotionally responsive. The child knows that their feelings are acknowledged, soothed, and taken seriously. And these caregivers are safe and present. So the caregiver is someone the child can depend on without fear of rejection, abandonment, or on the other side, overwhelm or shame, maybe. So, what the child learns from this is that when I'm upset, someone helps me feel better. And I'm safe to explore because I know I can return to comfort. I'm safe to go out and explore the world because I know that when I go home, I will have the comfort that I need. And they also know that my needs matter. I'm lovable as I am. No matter how naughty I am, my parents still love me. This doesn't mean their parents never got it wrong. Absolutely not. As I said, there is no such thing as a perfect parent. And if that's what we are striving for, we're going to fail. The perfection does not exist. So all caregivers miss cues sometimes. The key difference is repair. So when it comes to secure attachment, the key difference is always in the repair. In secure homes, when mistakes happen, they are recognized and repaired, showing the child that relationships can handle rupture and recovery. None of us are perfect. So everybody thinks, oh well, I'm a dismissive avoidant or I'm a anxious attacher, whatever it is. But if I was just secure, I would be perfect. And that's never going to happen, my darling, because nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect, including secure attachers. So, the difference between secure attachers and insecure attachers is that we're able to repair and regulate. So, when you have a secure childhood like that, where the caregiving is good enough, when we fast forward into adulthood from there, secure attachment often looks like people who are comfortable with both um, closeness and independence. They have a confidence in asking for their needs to be met. So they trust that love is dependable. That's a really big thing because most of the insecure attachment styles don't have that level of trust. And they have like a resilience when relationships face conflict or change. They're able to work through it. They're able to manage conflict. They're able to repair. They're able to be accountable. These are things that the insecure attachment styles often cannot do. So a secure attacher is not perfect. They're still going to have arguments. They're still going to have little meltdowns. They are still going to get things wrong. They're still going to behave inappropriately sometimes. They are not perfect. The difference is in their ability to repair after that. So here's the good news that I remind those who seek my advice though. Even when you didn't grow up with secure attachment, and let's face it, most of us did not. Most of us, I would say, probably grew up with an insecure attachment style. It's very rare that we have secure parents who raise secure children. Um, However, even if you didn't grow up with a secure attachment, you can develop it as an adult. Through therapy, through safe relationships, and reparenting your own inner child, you can build that sense of trust, safety, and worthiness. So, secure attachment isn't about never struggling, it's not. As secure attachers, we struggle just as much as anyone else. It's about trusting that struggles can be navigated with care and repair. And it's also about acknowledging your feelings, your emotions, and working through those things. Um, for example, I suffered a loss that grieved me very deeply. And I would say, for quite a while, probably over a month or so, I was a complete mess, but I felt all of my feelings. I processed them. I got through it. It did I fall apart? Yes, I absolutely did. I absolutely fell to pieces, but that was okay because I knew those feelings were normal and I knew my reaction to those feelings were normal. So it's about trusting that struggles can be navigated with care and with repair. So, because I asked a question before with the last three videos, I'm going to ask one here today. But this one isn't just for our secure attachers if you're watching. Probably not, to be fair. I find that most of my videos are watched by insecure attachment styles, not by secure ones. But if you are, it's not just for you. This is for anyone, whether you've got an insecure attachment style or a secure one. So, what I want to know today is, when you think of safety in love, so when you think of safety in love, what comes to mind first? Is it a memory? Is it a feeling? Is it an image? Is it a smell? Is it a sound? What is it? When you think of the words safety in love, what immediately springs to your mind? I really want to know. I'm really curious. So I remember sorry, my throat is going. I remember working with someone who grew up in a home where safety and love came from consistency. So she shared with me that when she fell over in the playground, her dad always came rushing over, scooped her up, and told her she was okay. Now, I don't mean fawning over a child. I think it is good um, to build a resilience in children. They have to be able to learn to self-soothe. But for her, or he wasn't fawning, he was just giving her comfort. So she knew that no matter how bad it got, no matter how bad she felt, whether it was just a little bump or whether it was a big one, she knew that he would be there for her, that he would come over, he would scoop her up, and he would tell her she was okay. And what stood out to her wasn't that he could stop every bump or scrape. Nobody can do that. Nobody. We're all going to fall sometimes. It was that she trusted he would be there every single time. And that predictability built a deep sense of safety within her. So, as an adult, this meant that she was able to enter into relationships without second guessing her worth. She could love openly, she could communicate honestly, and trust that closeness didn't mean danger. You know, being close to somebody is not dangerous most of the time. For her, safety and love feels like a steady hand she can always reach out for, basically. And that's beautiful, I think. That's how it should be. So for me, it's a little bit different because I did not grow up secure. I grew up with an anxious attachment style, very severely anxious attachment style. I suffered abuse and neglect most of my life. I didn't always feel that same consistency that she did. Love often felt uncertain or dangerous for me, and it was snatched away just as I got used to it, or just when I thought I was safe. And I learned to work very hard, very, very hard for attention and reassurance from the people I loved in particular. Back then, safety and love wasn't something I could fully trust. I always felt it might disappear. That was my biggest fear. I was going to be abandoned. I was going to be rejected once again. Again and again and again. Every time. But now, having worked to become secure, and it's taken me a long time, and it was hard work. It wasn't impossible, but for me, because I was so severely anxious, it was hard. I can't lie about that. It did take some work. But having worked to become secure, my picture of safety has completely shifted. So, safety and love for me now feels like being able to breathe in a relationship, not having to perform for anyone, not having to cling onto it for fear that it was going to leave me at any moment now, not worrying that I'm too much, but knowing I'm loved just as I am, just the way I am, and knowing that real love, true love, won't abandon me, won't reject me. It's the calm steadiness of being seen and valued and held without fear that it will all be snatched away at any moment. That's what secure love means to me now. Anyway, I'm going to go now, but tomorrow I want to talk a bit about why attachment styles develop differently from each other. So I'll see you there. Take care all. Bye.